Hello. So our fifth, I think, video had to do with social networking and how it impacts our lives positively and negatively, and how one certain example could have positively or negatively um, affected our life through the social networking. So first, we're going to talk about how it can positively or negatively impact your future. I think, social networking, because it's such a broad thing, and right now there's so many different forms of social media and, social networking, that, there really isn't a way to tell how it'll impact our future. But I think that, positively, it'll help you keep in touch with people that you grew up with. It'll help you, put stuff out there to keep in touch with people, so, if you move away from the area that you grew up in, people still want to, know how your life is going, what you're doing. So the social medias like Facebook and Twitter, the people who have lived near you for most of your life, are friends with you or following you, easily they can keep in touch with you that way, because sometimes it is hard to keep in touch with a person through, texting or phone messages or emails. But Facebook and Twitter and other types of social media do make it really easy to see what's going on in your life, because it's like an instantaneous way to put information out there, and, it's there for anyone to see. But on the same, line, it can negatively impact your life, because you really have to be careful of what you post on some of these sites, because, yes, your family and your friends look at it, but also future employers will be looking at these networks one day to find information about you, to get to better know you as a person. You go in for an interview, they get to talk to you, but that's only a short snippet of who you are. So going onto these sites is a way for them to gather more information about you. So that is a positive and a negative, because positively, they'll be able to, get more information about you, see, what kind of person you are. But on the same line, it can negatively impact your life, because, you got to be really careful what you put on here, on these media sites, because, you don't want to put, you going out drinking, pictures of that, or things that you've done. So you have to be really careful about what you post on these. So there's a lot of, you have to watch what you post. You have to be very discreet with the things that you post, and you have to make sure your friends understand that too. Because you don't want someone who you're friends with, you go out with them one night and they post these pictures, but you really don't want them on your page. So you have to be careful of what you do, not just for the fact that it can be posted online, but also just because. So for an example, how you or someone that I've known made a social networking decision that had recently had a negative impact on my life or their life. I do go on social networking, but I try to, I don't really go on it a lot. But if I could think of something, maybe within the past year, through Facebook, I had went to an event at my old high school, and I had seen someone who I used to be friends with. And, the friendship ended poorly, so, there was still tension and unanswered questions and all that. And so weeks went by, and I messaged the person on Facebook, and, through some of the very few communications that we had, it did get very awkward, and things I think were very misconstrued. So that was negative for me on my end, because, I was trying to just be like, oh, hey, I saw you at this event. How's your life going? But because, even though it's been almost 3 years since we've been out of high school, it's really hard to gauge something over like a Facebook messaging, because you're not really like sitting there talking to them, oh, what's going on, how's your life going? You're sending these messages, so they really don't have a complete grasp on what you're trying to accomplish or what you're trying to say to them. So that for me was negative, because I was just trying to be like, oh, I saw you and it was good seeing you, how's things going? But on their end, they might have thought it was a little different because of how things had ended. So, overall, I think that social media is good because it does help people keep in touch. But on the same point, you have to be really careful and guard what you post or what you say, because you don't want it to turn around and bite you in the butt. So that's all I have for now. Thank you.